So really just make the most, at the end of the day, just make the most of your time, yo. Make the most of your time by dedicating to your craft, you know, and devising a plan. You know, it really comes down to like that, strategic wise.
1, 2, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and MPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
Today's episode of Beats Grinding Life is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audio download and 30-day free trial at beatsbooks.com. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Some recommended readings by past Beats Grinding Life guests like 48 Laws of Power, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Secret, Tools of Titans, and The Song Machine are all available with Audible. Once again, go to beatsbooks.com to get your free book. What's up, Beat Grinders? This is another episode of Beats Grinding Life. I'm your host, Siren Beats, and with us today we have Chuck Lawayne.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chuck Lawayne is a music producer based out of Harlem, New York. But it didn't start out that way. Like many, Chuck had a hoop dream and was a Division I basketball player recruit out of high school. As his dream for basketball faded, his love for music grew. He spent his college years perfecting his craft of making beats. Today, he has many placements with artists such as Lloyd Banks, Daz Dillinger, Prezi, and the legendary Craig G, along with Slim Cutta, Calhoun, and many more. Yo, what up, Chuck? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Cooling right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, I'm glad to have you up on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a blessing.
No doubt, man. Well, I just read a little brief intro on you, man. Why don't you let the Beat Grinders know a little bit more about who you are? Fill in the blanks for us.
Okay. Well, beats is something that, I just kind of caught on to, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger, like around high school. Music has always been in the family. There's nobody really in my family that directly knows how to like play instruments or anything like that, but just the appreciation for it.
Right.
It's like my father, was like a young cat, like in the 80s and 90s, and rap was really ruling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just remember being back of the car with him, music playing loud, and he would play a lot of different things as well, like the Anita Baker and stuff that was out at the time.
Dope.
Earth, Wind and Fire, the stuff that he grew up off.
Right.
So,
classic R&B.
While I'm and that's kind of when you listen to my music, that's kind of like what I base my style off of.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just being around with him and my mother and hearing those stuff in the background, hanging out with him and just hearing these things. I just developed the same appreciation for it. So, like you said, with the whole basketball thing, when I stopped playing ball, always wanted to get into music, but before I stopped playing ball, I had some cousins who were actually doing music, you know what I'm saying, like really doing it, going in the studios. I never been in the studio, never seen any equipment, but just to kind of sum it up, my father, when I really started, it started with me writing, trying to rap, you know what I'm saying, and when my father actually tried to start a record label, so he was doing the research and saw what I was trying to do. Right. He said, where are you going to get your beats from? I was like, I don't know. He said, well, you know how much a beat costs, right? And he did like this little beatbox sound. He's like, just for that? And immediately I said, yeah, I'm gonna end up having to find out how to make my own beats.
Right.
But I had no way of finding out how to get into it. I didn't know nobody who was doing it. You know, and this is like the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
So it wasn't as prevalent as it is today.
Exactly. It wasn't just, get on the internet and, you know, get on uTorrent, download the software, and boom. I think it was at that time, but it wasn't as simple.
Right. Yep.
As it is. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody had a computer and not everybody had the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's like, you know, that's just like the norm. You know, some people got computers in their house and no television.
Yep.
But like I said, my cousins at the time, you know, I hadn't seen them in a long time, but we finally had somehow linked back up in high school, and I found out they were doing music at the time. So my cousin, who was rapping, was trying to get into beats at the same time that I was. So I'll never forget, we had this talent show, and it was this guy at our school. The day of the talent show, he gave my cousin a FL Studio 3.4 beat CD. Nice. Right. So we went, did the talent show, won, and went back home and put the Fruity Loops on a computer, and that's really where it started, right there, yo.
Dope, man.
That's where it started, man, and it's just been on ever since.
On ever since, man. So I mean, did you ever pursue that rapping career? Did you rap over your own beats, or did
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did in the beginning. In the beginning, I did, because like I said, that was what I really wanted to do. I wanted to actually rap.
Right.
So when I figured the solution out, so my father was telling me, you gotta somehow get your beats. So I'm like, that's damn right there. I got it. I can make my own beats. So that's what I started to do. Okay. But I think what started to really happen was how I started to really just like the beat process more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then as I, you know, just going out, trying to, just the puzzle, you know, I was just really intrigued by that. And I still liked rapping, you know what I'm saying? But as the years went on, like when I went away to college, you know, I really just started saying, you know, I'm going to just stick with this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is more, like honestly, my personality is more introverted than, I mean, I'm not really I can be a front man, but that's not really what I like. I like my privacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, man, producers can make all this money. You know what I'm saying? Make all this money, you can make all these beats, you know what I'm saying? And you can still actually live a regular life. Right. You know? Yeah. And that was another thing when, what's the name of them came out? And Cam and them was coming out. You know, and you know, that's the time you cats would read the back of the book to the CDs. Right. You know. So I'm reading these CDs and I'm finding out who Just Blaze is, who's Kanye, who's Ninth, and who all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? Who's Bink? Who's this guy? Right. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, you know, I'm like, okay, this is where it's at. Really, you know what I mean? So as the years went on, I just, you know, started, you know, it was just strictly production at that point.
Dope, man. Dope. Well, what made you stop playing basketball?
Oh man, that's a long story, but basketball. Now, ball, I still love ball, but you know, just at the time, I just saw early what people are starting to see today when it comes with AAU basketball, and when it comes with the recruitment process. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and when you see how you treat it and how it's really like a meat market. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to find out, you know, what's best for you. But a lot of this stuff, I didn't really have the stomach to endure, you know. Okay. And then I was, you know, my mom, I wanted to do other things. I thought I was, you know, basketball, I still love it. Even at that time, I still loved it. But certain things was just going on and it was taking the fun out of it. You know, and it just wasn't fun anymore. Right. You know, like the things around it. And I'm like, yo, I can go to college. You know what I'm saying? I can get my own. I don't need an athletic scholarship. You know what I'm saying? I can go get my own. You know what I'm saying? Education paid for, and still have fun and be a student and all of that. And it was just too many restraints. You know what I'm saying? Favoritism, all of these different things. You know, that was going on. So I said, you know what? By the end of my 12th grade year, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just do this like the academic thing. I'm gonna just do it like that.
Dope, man.
Or as a regular student. You know
what I'm noticing is, you know, just the shifts. You know, you said that you know, were heavy into basketball, and then you wanted to be a rapper, and then finally you landed on music production.
Exactly.
So I think that's dope just to see the evolution, of who you are and your journey where you've come. So
man, appreciate it.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, the next question that we always ask is, what piece of equipment or software did you start off with? And it sounded like it was that Fruity Loops that you got that night of that talent show. That's what all kicked it off for you, huh?
Yeah, that's what definitely kicked it off. I'm trying to remember what computer we had at the time. I can't remember. I'm normally we can remember these things, but it was a family computer that we had for maybe 3 years before we even heard of Fruity Loops.
Right.
Yeah, I had for a while. And this is the computer with the, you got now the monitor, the flat screen, the flat monitor.
Okay.
This is the one that still looked like the television with the big back that would stick out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then the brains for the computer, you had like 2 pieces. You had the brains for the computer as well. Now the MacBook, the iMac just comes straight flat. There's no second piece to it. So it was one of those computers with dial-up internet on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had dial-up internet on it at that time. So we had FL. So I just say that, right. I just give you context. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like it was, all types of speed and memory on there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. And my mother, mine was the family computer. It wasn't mine. So my mother had to use it. Everybody had to use it to type papers. So it wasn't like you just come in there and just make beats all day.
Right.
And God forbid you get a virus on it. So that's what we was working with in the beginning. And then we got another, a compact computer.
Okay.
My cousin ended up getting one from his friend. And we had that. And it was just still FL, man. FL with no MIDI keyboard, no drum machine.
Wow. Just
a mouse. And that was it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And we was trying to figure and Cool Edit Pro. We was still trying to figure out how to sample, like all that kind of stuff. Like all of that. It was like I can't even explain it, man. It was just groundbreaking for us at that time. Like, wow, it's to the equivalent, I think, when Marley Marl had figured out. When he figured out he can take like a drum snare from a record. And he can make that snare and make a pattern out of anything.
Right.
That's what we were learning how to do at that time because nobody taught us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we were learning how to do that digitally.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just crazy, but that's what we started on, man.
Yeah, well, like you said, that's what that's what intrigued you about it. Is kind of like a puzzle. That's what you're saying. Just solving things and so that's what's up, man. Okay, man. Yes, coming up, man, who were some of the producers that inspired you?
Inspired me early. Before I knew it, it was Dr. Dre.
Nice.
Before I knew it, those guys, that's what my father used to play a lot of. Dope. But as when I started to get into production, I would say single-handedly, if anybody produced for Rockefeller, anybody who's making Jay-Z beats, it was Kanye, it was Just Blaze,
nice.
You know what I'm saying? It was Bink, it was the Heat Makers, definitely can't leave them out. Those were the guys that inspired me to actually want to make beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then as I started, a couple of years, into it, I started doing my homework on other people. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I think everybody should be a student, from before you, after you, all that,
Right. Definitely.
So then I started to soak up Premier, Pete Rock in particular. You know what I'm saying? Right. And those guys, that's when I was really eye-opened at, when I found out, looking at their work and what they did. Knife Wonder as well, that's another guy.
Cool.
But you go through it and it's like you're making beats and you're trying to find your sound. But early on, those were the guys I was trying to sound like.
Nice.
But I got my favorites though that I still techniques from. I try to take techniques. That's what I try to do. I try to identify certain techniques, see what I can use, and try to basically take, you build up an arsenal of techniques.
Right, yeah.
And then from there, you go ahead and build your own style.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Take a little bit of everybody's stuff that you that you admire, and then it becomes yours. You put it all into a pot and brew it up, and it's all yours.
Exactly.
So that's what's up, man.
Without biting.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Word.
Thank you for adding that in. Okay, man.
No doubt.
Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, we're all about having a good time. We're all about, just chopping it up with the producers. And part of that, man, we know that it can't all be about the good times, man. We got to have some hard times as well. That's just part of the music game. So want to know, man, what's a major setback or failure that you've had in your career that you were able to bounce back from that you could tell us about, so maybe we can avoid the pitfalls?
Yeah. I would say a lot of my setbacks have absolutely nothing to really do with music. I can't really think of a time where something happened where I was gypped or anything behind my back or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of like I said, it had nothing to do with music. So I would say, you said one of the worst times or major setback?
Yeah.
Man.
Was there like a time where you maybe dropped a hard drive or anything, or?
Oh my God, yeah, that's plenty of times. But I'm pretty good with it. I'm gonna tell you right there. Yeah, I had a couple of times with that. I had something crazier than that happen. But going back to dropping the hard drives, man, I drop those all the time. But I always save everything on CD though. I put everything on my actual CD. So if I drop a hard drive, I still got the CD backed up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, on DVD. So, but there was a time where my ex-wife at the time, I just put it like this: we got into an argument. I left home, came back, everything was destroyed. everything was destroyed, yo.
You're kidding.
Everything was destroyed. I kid you not, man. I just got some Dre Beats headphones. The Dre Beats headphones were snapped in half. Because I remember you asked me what did I start with in the beginning. But by this time, I had ended up, I was still on the computer. I had, got upgraded to laptop. But by this time, I was using a MIDI keyboard, and I had purchased the Akai MPD 32, the drum pad. I was trying to get my pads on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Feel what I'm doing.
Right.
So, that was gone. That was, he basically put everything in a bathtub and just sprinkled it with washing detergent, mustard, ketchup, bleach, everything that I ever owned was in that bathtub. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, damn. So I was down, like I had nothing to make beats on. And Buck Wild, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Oh yeah, legendary.
Yeah, legendary Buck Wild at the time had I had just recently did a beat battle, I Standard.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm always, if he ever hear this, but he know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always grateful for that. But what he did was he sent me out one of his machines.
Dope.
Right. But luckily, the good thing about that is I still had my laptop on me because I was on my way to work, and at that time I was carrying it everywhere.
You still had
she didn't destroy my laptop. I still had my laptop.
That's what's up. Okay.
I had my beats. I just had nothing to make beats with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, it pays to have good people around you, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. God had me on that. You know what I'm saying? So thanks to him. Thanks to Buck Wild for getting me through that little point right there.
That's what's up, man. Shout out Buck Wild for that, man. Not only just for being a legendary producer, but just for being a nice guy for doing that, man. That's what's up, man.
Word.
Okay, man. Well, I want to know, man. We're gonna flip it a little bit, man. I want to know what's the best part of your career so far. What's the crowning achievement?
Crowning achievement? I had to sit back, and I don't have, like I said, I'm not Grammy nominated. I don't got no platinum records or anything like that. So, I just, but for me personally, I want to say the crowning achievement had to be the Lloyd Banks placements. Oh yeah. And the only reason I say that is the way that it happened. And just who Lloyd Banks is, because remember at the time when I first started, I wanted to rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when he first came on the scene, I was in high school, you know, and at that time, you know, it was bars, strictly bars. So, you know, our everyday regimen was get home and try to get home in time for Rap City to see who's in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to say what? Trying to get on the radio, you know what I'm saying? Like, the radio's on. I remember when Nick's album first came out, they played the whole thing on the radio. It was like late at night. You know what I'm saying? I still remember hearing about this guy. Like, when 50 first started buzzing, it was crazy. And my man's like, yo, you heard of Lloyd Banks? I'm like, who's Lloyd Banks? He was like, man, Lloyd Banks better than 50. I'm like, yo, I'm just now hearing about 50. Who's this guy better than Lloyd Banks? So I go to his house. He puts on Victory freestyle. And I was just like, well, I said, okay, all right, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? The punchline's crazy. So he became like an instant favorite. Like, so, you know, we would argue between him, Fabulous, Jada, Cassidy, you know, or who would be the best. Right. You know, so when, you know, and everybody knows Banks always is open for beats. You know what I'm saying? He actually listens. He'll post an email up, send beats here. But the way that I caught that, he had one up on Twitter, but the email never worked. You know what I'm saying? I think it was full at the time or something like that. But he kept it up there. So I had been trying for like a couple of years to actually send him some stuff, but to that same email. But it was the same thing. It was always full. Right. So it was one particular day I was at work. Like, mind you, nothing was really happening. I told you, most of my setbacks have nothing to do with the actual music. It's just life happens. And then I can't, you know what I'm saying, really dedicate time to making beats. You know what I'm saying? I got to take care of children. I need money. I gotta pay rent. So I don't really have the time to really do it like that. And this was at one of those times where I really wasn't thinking about music. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have the time to do it. And at least a career like that. So it was one of these days I called out of work for a couple of days. I was just exhausted. And just turned on my internet, you know, paid the bill. And I'm laying in bed and I see the notifications come across my Twitter. And he says, yo, I need beats. Send beats to here. So I'm like, all right. So I immediately get up. I'm already knowing the deal. Somebody's going to see this. It's going to be like 1,000 emails, 1,000 beats in 30 seconds. Right, yeah. So I raced to my computer, you know, and I just was like, yeah, I'm going to pick the hottest 4 I think that he can get on. You know, so I just sent it to him and I didn't really hear anything for months. You know, so I go back to work. And I think that was like in the summertime. Yeah, it was maybe like July or something like that. Okay. Fast forward to October of 2016, and I'm at work and I'm checking my emails, and I see that in there. My man, well, he's my man now, Bombay, which is his engineer. His engineer basically said, yo, can you send me the stems to this one particular beat? Nice. But I didn't know it was I thought it was a joke. Right. You know, I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was just trying to get me. You know, I didn't know who I sent the beats to because I sent that beat out a few times. So I was like, yo, man, like, I did your number, yo. I need to call because I'm like, I got to call and find out if this for real. So I called him. He said, yo, yeah, this is for real. I'm mixing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the mixing process right now. You know, I'm just going to do it this weekend. I just need you to send it as soon as you can. So I said, okay. So, all right. I'm like, all right. I was excited. But still, I thought maybe it's not for real. I don't know. So I sent them the stems, but he told me not to say anything to anybody. Right. I told my mom and my close friend and my girl, but I didn't like go on Instagram and blast it. Right. You know, because that might fuck it up. So I sent it to him, and I want to say maybe the weekend came, and I think he asked me the day before it was about to drop for my producer name. He's like, I need you to, you know, put your name on the credits. I gave it to him. And at that point, I'm thinking like, okay, this is probably for real. It's probably for real. But I still didn't think, I'm still holding out. Because for me, it's been a long time coming. You know, I started making beats in 2000, like officially, I want to say like in 2003. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you fast forward 2016, it's a long time coming for me. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. So I hear that, I see it, and then it finally came, and I seen it, and I seen my name. I said, wow. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? All of the work that I paid, I think up until that point that I had done, you know, I was proud. You know, so that was definitely one of the most proud moments.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I honestly was about to stop. I was about to give it up. You know.
Wow.
And that came out of nowhere. I was unexpected. I was not expecting it. So.
That's dope. Well, thank you for sharing that story, man. I mean, that just goes to show beat grinders. You know, if you guys are, you know, thinking that you want to quit making music or whatever, don't quit. You know, because you never know when it's your time to shine. You know.
Right.
Chuck Lawayne, you just said, you know, 13 years, you know, of just you know, forming your craft. You know, it took 13 years for you to get your shot, man. And so, not only that, man, you worked, you kept searching, you know, looking for Lloyd Banks on Twitter, seeing, you know, when your time was to send that beat in, man. So that's what's up, man. Well, thank you for sharing that story, man. I got a lot out of that, man, and I know the beat grinders are gonna get a lot from that too, man. So
and I hope so too, yo. Most definitely keep plugging away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, we're all about, you know, we're all striving to be successful producers, man. You're doing your thing, man. And so we want to know, man, what does a typical day look like for you? So that way maybe we can model our day after you and be just as successful as you are.
Most definitely, man. Like I said, nowadays it's a lot of people where, you know, I'm gonna just make you straightforward and clear. Like, I'm not the guy, you know, I know you probably have a lot of different beat grinders out here from different ages.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And different
ages, different backgrounds. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you know, some guys can make beats all day. Some guys can sit at home, do their thing all day. Some guys can't. You know what I'm saying? That used to be me when I was first started, 18, 19. But even at that time, so basically what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to give you a picture, you know what I'm saying, for basically every background, because I've done it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what my strategy was then and what it is, you know, today.
Okay.
But back then, yeah, man, it was really just, you know, devoting time to your craft. If you have the time, the only way you can get better is just to do what it is that makes you get better. Yeah. You know, and actually study your craft. So at that time, I had a lot of time to study my craft. So I spent a lot of time in record stores. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't go to record stores anymore. Spend time digging. You know, you learn a lot just from actually digging, finding out names. Right. You know, for something that you really like. You're like, damn, like, this sounds good. Who did this? Who wrote this? Right. You know what I'm saying? You put the back, see the name. You know what I'm saying? Now the information is so out there, you know, sometimes you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to go to the record store. But I just spent a lot of time studying at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? My regiment was basically going to class, coming back to the dorm, more beats in the dorm. Nice. You know what I'm saying? Leave the dorm, probably go get something to eat, go to the studio on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? You really have to treat it. You have to treat it like, if you really want to be successful, you have to treat it like a job. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I did early on. You know what I'm saying? But as the years go on, you know, sometimes we have children. You know what I'm saying? You're married, and then your time, you know what I'm saying, is compromised. And you don't have the time to do it excessively as you once did and still be able to, you know, balance everything else out in your life. Right. You know, so what I've been able to do nowadays is a lot different. You know, as like the game changes, you look at Kobe and what he did at the end of his career, as things weren't the same, he had to adjust to, you know what I'm saying? Right. He had to adjust his game. And that's all I did. And that's all I'm doing now. So a day for me today, I'm a sampler. You know what I'm saying? People know that. I could still, you know, make keys. I do keys and all of that too. But when I'm digging, because I don't really have much time like I used to go to the record store. Okay. You know, I'm a mailman by day. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, but while I'm doing that, that's, you know, that's it takes a lot of time. You know what I mean? It takes up a lot of time. But while I'm basically delivering mail, I got my headphones on. I'm listening for music. I'm listening for something that I can sample. So by the time I get home, I already know what it is that I'm going to touch. You know, I don't have to come home and listen, you know, to records for 3 or 4 hours, because I've been doing it all day. Nice. You know, so by the time I come home, and even if I don't have time to make beats at home, which I don't. I don't make beats at home anymore because I don't have the space. So to my man's crib. So, and I might go there maybe like twice a week or maybe even once. Okay. So the whole week, I'm just scanning. I'm scanning the whole week. Or what I'm going to use, what I'm going to try and, you know, what I'm going to chop. Just different sounds. You know what I'm saying? So by the time it's time for me to sit down and make the beats, you know, I'm doing it all day. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take long. I'm not really losing time. So really just make the most, at the end of the day, just make the most of your time, yo.
Nice, man.
Make the most of your time by dedicating to your craft, you know, and devising a plan. You know, it really comes down to like that, strategic wise, like with the Lloyd Banks thing. That was a strategy that I had probably developed a few years prior. You know, I'm like, well, if I'm going to be working, you know, I don't have time to sit on Twitter all day. But let me just follow guys, set my notifications on. And I'm pretty sure people have already picked up on this. But I set my notifications on certain rappers just in case they may post something about beats. And that's what happened with Lloyd Banks. I had set my notifications for every time he tweet, it comes directly across my screen. Like I don't have to scroll up the timeline to find out. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy because back in the day, this didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing about it today. But, you know, you just adjust with the times, man.
Yeah. And I mean, things are getting a lot more convenient and easier, too, you know? I mean, I mean, me being here in Portland, Oregon, you know, I wouldn't have been able to connect with somebody of a Lloyd Banks caliber, you know, like that back in 2000 or, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, the internet just makes everything local, you know.
It makes everything local. It's two sides of that. You know what I mean? It's two sides of that. But, yeah, it's a gift and a curse. There's nothing, but there's nothing that beats. There's nothing that beats in studio relationship working with an artist. And you mentioned a guy by the name of Prezi, you know, and that's what's been making it fun again for me. Because, you know, he's a Harlemite just like me, you know what I'm saying, just a couple of blocks down. But, you know, when we clicked, it was just like instant, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the studio, a lot of the songs that we've been doing and that will come out, you know, it comes from, you know, just us being in the studio.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Random ideas, thoughts, sitting around, guys coming in, just having a good time, just going off the vibe and just capturing those times with the new music.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what's been making it fun again. Shout out to Prezi. You know, look out for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely in the future work that we're doing, but.
Okay, well, that's what's up, man. Well, thanks for providing two examples, you know, at that 18-year-old version of you where you can make beats all day and treat it like a job. And then the other one, you know, you being a dad and you being, you know, a husband and, you know, just don't got much time to make beats, but you're staying on, you know, on your job and listening to samples and whatever as much as you can. So.
Exactly, man. Exactly. You got to be able to adjust.
All right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview, man, we call In the Studio, where I get to find out what you do in the studio, what you do it with, and how you do it, man. So you ready? Yeah, let's go. Okay. All right, man. Well, what do you do when you first get in the studio, man? Do you have a ritual? Do you spark up? Do you grab an energy drink? Do you turn on the lights? What do you do when you get in the studio?
Well, lately, when it's just me, sometimes I don't really need. It's really whatever the environment is. Okay. You know, I'm still a 40 drinker. Nice. You know what I'm saying? So every now and again, you know, I have to, you know, I'll go and get a 40. Okay. You know, it's not something I really could just get up and make beats. Right. You know what I'm saying? But as I've gotten older, now for me it's more about impulse and how I'm feeling. Right. You know, so I don't just get up and it's like, okay, it's 8 o'clock, it's time to make beats, and I just start making beats. You know what I mean? It's gotta actually feel. I gotta feel that. Right. You know what I mean? So when I do that, sometimes the 40, I'll feel that. Right. Get a 40 just to get loose, and then I'll just go in. Sometimes I'll spark up too. You know what I'm saying? So I go back and forth. Like right now, I kind of put the 40s down. You know, because I don't want that beer belly. But I'll spark up. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the ideas flowing, just to feel loose. If I do too much, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So there's that fine line. You're trying to get to that level, but you don't want to get past that level.
Exactly, because if you get past it, nothing's gonna be made. We're gonna be doing this shit tomorrow.
Right.
But nah. So I'll do that.
Okay.
And then, so what else I even rock with? Sometimes I like to have. I always like to have the TV on in the background. You know what I'm saying? A game or something like, so I can look back.
Right.
See what's going on.
Right.
Most of the beats that I do make, I don't really like too many people in the room. A lot of the stuff me and Prezi been doing, it's been a lot of people in the room. I can do it like that too as well. But for the most part, I think from experience, my best work comes, when I'm by myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a couple of people, sometimes my man Jimmy sometimes come through. I work off the MPC. You know what I'm saying? That's what else is around. He was asking me what was around.
Okay.
And that's it, man.
Okay. Well, I want to know, man, what's a not so secret weapon that you use in the studio?
A not so secret weapon. Let me see. Let me go in there. Not so secret weapon. I gotta think about that one. It's really a lot. To me, a lot of what I do is no secret. Anything.
Some that's a go-to that we just wouldn't expect.
Oh, that's a go-to that you wouldn't expect. Let me see.
Like a plug-in or?
Oh, plug-in. Oh, well, there's a lot of people. I'll put it like this. A lot of people ask me about the drums. How you get the drums to sound like this? How you get the drums to sound like? And it's really, there's no real, and how I do it at least. There's no real way. There's no secret plug-in to actually do it. Because people are like, man, what is that to you? Is that Pro Tools? Is this? I don't even use Pro Tools. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just go straight off the MPC Studio with the laptop, and then anything that needs to go to Pro Tools is sent to a session for an engineer.
Nice. But
I master everything, or at least equalize everything, and mix it in the standard DAW.
Right.
With the standard plugins.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? There's no. I know a lot of people use the. I can't remember the name of the. There's some plugin out there. I just seen it too. So who mentioned it? The guy, Young Guru mentioned it, saying like it's some plugin out there that you just put on a master track, and it's supposedly supposed to have your music sounding like radio ready. But he was like, yo, that shit fucks up. You know what I mean? It's not real mastering. It kind of just fucks up the whole shit when you send it to a real engineer,
right? To
actually equalize your shit out, because that's what it's some type of limiter or something like that.
Okay.
But you know what I mean, now we getting the tech talk, but it's some type of limiter that, you know what I'm saying, it just fucks up the tracks. So, and what people were doing is they put them on every single track. You know what I mean? And make it sound, I don't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? I use the standard shit.
You just use
the high
what's
frequency.
In the box already. What's in the MPC.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They got the highs, the lows, the mid filters, stuff like that.
Dope.
And that's about it, man. To get the drums to sounding.
That's what's up.
Anything else that you probably have heard in my beats? You know what I'm saying? At least to me, I don't think that there's nothing that guys couldn't figure out. You know what I'm saying? It's just about finding what you do and just, making it work for that particular song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, man. Well, what's all in your toolbox? What are you using these days to make beats with?
All right, now I'm doing the MPC Studio. MPC Studio Black. I think I did go from, like you said, I was saying earlier, the FL Studio. Started like that. It was just a computer and mouse.
Nice.
Went from there to, I added the MIDI controller, 49 key and audio.
Nice.
And then from there, I added, when I felt like I was graduating, I went and did the MPD, the pad 32. And I think, what was it? Then I went to Machine for a while.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I seen that. I think it was No ID. I think when Machine was first coming out, they had like a little ad that was going, and they were showing him how he broke it down. He broke down the beat, the depth of auto tune.
Nice.
Right? He was like, man, I could take this in my car, go to the beach and make beats on the beach. I'm like, shit. I'm like, that's a whole nother realm of making beats right there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to try that. So that's why I got the MPD 32. So I was going to the beach with my laptop, you know what I'm saying, trying to bang out and all that. So but then after that, I really fell in love with when the MPC Studio came out.
Right.
Because I think my cousin had an MPC, but it was complicated for me at the time. I was like, yo, I'll never learn this shit. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen Pete rock, sometimes, you know, it takes something like that. When I seen him using it, you know, one of my idols, I'm like, okay, I probably could fuck around and do the same thing.
Right.
So when I got on it, I just fell in love with the simplicity of it and the way that you could, you know, track your stuff. You know, sample and all that. It's just, you know, so I'm gonna be rocking with that for a minute.
Okay.
But that's about it, man. I'm trying to get into the vintage keyboards though. I'm trying to get on my Jake 1.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That, man. Yeah.
As soon as I get the studio space, that's what's next.
Okay, I feel that, man.
What's next.
Well, what kind of monitors are you using?
What do I got in there? I think it's the BX, the M-Audio BX 5s. I think that's what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had them for a long time, you know, but nothing major, man. Nothing really major. I probably had these since. Yeah, I had this since 2011.
Okay.
You know, because I've never really had a main studio space to work. So those are kind of just mobile.
Right.
You know, so if I have to leave one place, I can just pack those in a suitcase, you know, and go to the next. So a lot of my, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people too as well, but it's the norm now to have like a mobile
setup.
A mobile setup, you know.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Right now.
Okay. Well, Beat Grinders, if you guys found anything of interest that Chuck Lawayne mentioned, you guys can go to his show notes on beatsgrindinglife.com and go check it out. I'll definitely provide links to everything that you mentioned. So, all right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview, man, we like to call in the mix. It's rapid fire, so we're gonna speed things up just a little bit. I'm gonna ask you some questions. You spit them right back to me. Hey, but if you need to take your time to elaborate on some of the questions, man, definitely do that. Okay?
No doubt.
All right, man. Do you prefer making beats with samples or without?
With.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on selling and releasing beats online?
Not really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna knock the entrepreneurship of it. I would just like for cats to see the cats get the right value. You know what I'm saying? To be compensated the correct value for what they're doing.
Nice, I feel that. Okay. All right, a plugin that you think every producer should have in their arsenal.
Oh man, Mini Move. That's just my favorite.
Nice, I'm feeling that, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a book that you think every producer should read, and it doesn't have to be music related?
Autobiography of Malcolm X.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
I'm feeling that one, man. Lived an interesting life, man, and wow, can definitely learn a lot from that book,
also,
man.
Exactly.
Anybody
also
can.
The evolution. That's what this thing is going to be when you produce it. If you plan on it to be in a long while, to be in it for a minute, you know, you're going to have to, you know what I'm saying, evolve. You know
right. Yep.
So.
No doubt. Okay. Well, Beat Grinders, I know that you guys are making beats all the time and you don't have time to open up a book, but you guys love audio because you're music producers. So now you can go and get a book, a free book from audible.com. Audiobook just like the one that he mentioned. Just go to beatsbooks.com and go claim your free book.
Right.
All right, man. Is there an internet resource that you use that you think that every producer could benefit from? And when I say internet resource, I mean a mobile app or a website.
Mobile app or website? Damn. That producers can use?
Yeah.
Damn, I don't even want to say it. Cause I know people. The only reason I don't want to say it is because, you know what, you know, it's kind of like this. This particular app. I'm gonna just say it like this: there's an app out there. Y'all know where to go to if you sample this to do your research. If you don't know what something is, you know what I'm saying? It's an app out there you could use that I use. You know what I'm saying? Without telling on people. I ain't want to tell on nobody. You know what I mean?
Okay. If I had to guess, I'd probably say Shazam or Who Sampled.
It could be either one of those two.
Okay. Well, do you have another
like
one?
This. I use both of those.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay. Cool.
I use both of those. There's plenty out there. Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I want you to describe, man. We're gonna slow things down just a little bit, man. I want you to describe and go into story mode about your first placement, man, and let us know how you felt about getting that first placement and what, just for some of us that don't have placements, get us excited, man.
Okay. Let me see, man. I don't know if people know the Lloyd Banks projects. Those were mixtapes, like just put out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To this day, I've never done. Well, I actually can say I have. In terms of a major placement, no. You know what I'm saying? But I do have placements with guys who have put stuff out, pressed up CDs, you know, things of that nature. My man, son of Tony, that's actually my first official album placement. I did work on an album called The Son of His Father, The Son of His Father 2.
Okay.
He's son of Tony, you know, so he's in that same lane. He's actually from the same area as West Side Gun and Conway.
Oh, nice.
There,
Buffalo?
In Buffalo, New York. You know what I'm saying? But he holds his own though. And he was the first, you know, and this was another organic situation where, you know, somebody hears your music and they just want to work with you. So he reached out and, you know, so a lot of people reach out and say, I want to do this, I want to do that, you know, and sometimes things materialize, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But that experience in particular was, you know, for me, was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if nobody bought it. You know what I'm saying? The simple fact that that's something that actually leaves, that's going to outlast you.
Right.
So we're making all this music now. I just had this conversation with someone else a couple days ago. Like, we're making all this music now, and, you know, but the way music is received now is not received as it was, you know, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
You know, when the Jay-Z album came out, it was promo all over the place, you know, and, you know, it was on television. You may have seen it, on, you know what I'm saying, on billboards all over the place, commercials on television. So then the album comes out and everybody's time to go buy it.
Right.
You know, now it's not really much of that. And now that everybody can do it, it's on Spotify. You know, so now it's a lot of stuff coming out and a lot of people aren't catching it.
Right, yeah.
You know, like albums going, oh damn, like this album came out, like I just found out not too long ago, Adrian Young put out an album with Delphonics.
Right.
And that was 2013. And I'm like, I don't even remember hearing anything about that. The album's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
But that just goes to show, you know, I just foresee how things are going to happen. We're making a lot of music now that might not catch for right now.
Right.
But it's going to outlast you. So if somebody press up a CD with your name on it, produced by so-and-so, you know what I'm saying, which would be you, that's a hard copy of something. You know what I'm saying? Like we do with these records. Some of the people who do these music, who have done this music, and a lot of the music that we know and love, some of them are gone. You know what I'm saying? Not physically here, but that piece of vinyl is something that's them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In that form. You know what I'm saying? That's how we can enjoy them. Exactly. So to get that placement, you know what I'm saying, that experience, that was a great experience. You know what I'm saying? Probably, you know, I was elated. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, somebody actually went, you know, and actually used something that I made, you know what I'm saying? And they felt well enough to actually press it up and make multiple copies of it.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't care who it is who does that, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
That's an accomplishment in itself.
That is a major accomplishment, man. I mean, like you said, just the fact that somebody, you know, not only liked your music, appreciated your music, they went out of their way to go ask you to work with them, and then, you know, like you said, you know, pressed it up. You know, I never really thought about that either. You know, you said once you're gone, your music is still here. You know, it's like you could still be affecting somebody. You could still be bringing joy to somebody. You could still be inspiring somebody after you're gone. You know.
So in death, in physical death, you can still be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, man. So, that's dope. Yeah. Okay, man. Well, what's your favorite song that you ever produced?
Damn, my favorite song. God. You know what? Man, I'm gonna go out on a limb, yo.
Okay.
Everything that I do is my favorite, first and foremost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's really what distinguishes these different songs is the experience in making the actual song, what it took to make the actual song.
Right.
And me, Jay Prezi, another artist by the name of Young Fly Boy, put out a song. Actually, it's a part of an album, a joint album that they did together called Fly Presidential that came out in March. Right? But there's a song on there we did together called Different Cloth. You know what I'm saying? And just, the backstory behind that, everybody who knows, I'm a crazy Wu-Tang fan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ghost, RZA, Ray, I mean the whole camp.
Nice.
But my brother at one particular time would just play the song. He would play Ice Cream. You know what I'm saying? He could just play that song over and over. You know what I'm saying? And it would just get me because I didn't know he really liked that song. I'm like, oh, you like this joint? I'm like, all right. So it kind of put it on my radar. I mean, I always knew the song, but since he was playing it over and over at that time, I'm like, okay, it was just on my radar.
Right.
And I had did a beat where I had slowed up the tempo and made it like real slow, but it was like still on beat. And I was like, I'm sitting in the crib one day and I'm like, damn, like Ice Cream's playing, and I just humming it in my mind. I'm like, yo, I think I could do that. I think I could slow the tempo. I think I could chop the tempo down in half and still be able to, you know what I mean, to freak it my way, which is these different drums. So I call up Jay Prezi like, yo, got a crazy idea, yo. Gotta come to the lab. You know what I'm saying? So he like, all right, cool. So I come there, put the headphones on. I think I came with the sample. Everybody knows an Earl Clark sample, Ice Creams. Right. I mean, I think RZA sampled a few different, but the like that, Earl Clark. So I came in with that sample, played it. He heard it, just the sample part, and he told me after it was done, he said, yo, I thought you was gonna do it was gonna be some rapidy rap shit. I thought I was gonna have to like really go in my bag, my Ghostface Ray bag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But all he heard was the sample. I threw the headphones on. And it was a lot of people in the room. There was a lot of people there that day, I could just remember. And I had finished it, but I was hungry, so I went out to go, like, yo, I'm gonna be right back. Go get something to eat. By the time I came back, it was more people in the room.
Damn.
But I had finished the beat, but they didn't hear it. Right? So I just did a few more minor, you know what I'm saying? Minor touch-ups. I was like, yo, it's ready, man. It's ready. I had played. I remember everybody's in there doing their own thing, drinking, smoking, playing PS4. And I had played. Everybody, all attention on the speakers. All attention was on the speakers. It's like, yo, and I remember he shut up. I was like, nah, bring that back. You know what I'm saying? My man Evan Brown was in there too. I don't know if you ever heard of him. But Evan Brown's another producer. He worked on the album as well.
Okay.
So he was there, and he same thing. I think when I left to get something to eat, he had just dropped in. So we all were just sitting like, yo, this shit is crack. But it was, I just felt like if you ever get a chance, go peep that song. Like, I just felt like, damn, especially in New York, we got so much good music up here.
Right. When
they talk about, the whole narrative now, everybody in New York trying to sound like people in other places. I'm like, yo, we got a rich history we can stand on.
Right. Yeah.
Got a rich history of music we can stand on. We just got to be able to, not just fall back on it like that, but just to be able to, push it forward instead of always falling back on it. Let's just push it forward.
Right.
So, and that's what I try to do with that. Exactly. So that's what I try to do with that song. Ice Cream is popping in '95. Right. I just tried to push it into 2018.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we did a good job of that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, well, what? One more time. What's it called?
It's called Different Cloth.
Different Cloth.
Different Cloth. Yeah. Jay Prezi, Young Fly Boy. The album's called Fly Presidential. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere.
Dope. Well, Beat Grinders, you guys pause this podcast right now. Go check it out, and then come back. We'll be here when the song is over. Definitely go check that out. All right, man. Well, I want to know, what's an album besides one that you worked on that you recommend every producer listen to, and why?
Man, it's a few of those. It's definitely a few of those. But I'll just go down in my experience, and what helped me out.
Okay.
I think when I first started making beats, people were telling me, yo, you got to structure your joints. I don't know when they're coming. I don't know when the hook is coming. I don't know when I'm rapping. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like, yo, like, what are you talking? I'm like, yo, the beat is fire. Just, you know what I mean?
Just hop in.
Exactly. But then I go to iStandards, and they're telling me the same thing. Chuck Lawayne, I think you should work on now. Your next point is structure. Work on your structure. So I took it to heat. I'm like, okay, so many people saying it, it must be true.
Right.
So I sat down and I listened to Chronic 2001.
Yep.
And the Sonics on there is exactly. Sonics on there is crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can listen to that album for a lot of different reasons. For the Sonics, the frequencies, but also the structure, how you structured those beats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I could probably say to this day, I still structure based off of how those beats were structured.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I've tried different things, now, but for the longest, I was just following this one specific format, that I learned from there.
Right.
So yeah, that's one album.
Okay.
We just talking about just for pure technique. Another album people probably don't even realize, but Only Built for Cuban Links.
Nice.
Only Built for Cuban Links. Now, Riz is one of my favorite producers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Same
But what people don't exactly. But RZA, when I first started listening to RZA early, I was like, this is the early 2000s. So this was when everything was syncopated at that point in time. The sampling was kind of dying down, and even the main people that was sampling, like Ye, Blaze, a lot. I don't remember hearing too many of their beats and patterns unquantized.
Right.
Everything was super on beat, clean, all that. You know what I mean? But so when I'm listening, I'm coming up on, I'm like, yo, it was hard for me to get into because I didn't understand it, at that time.
Right.
But as I went back, I'm just like, yo, this dude's genius.
Yep.
Because for one, he's doing, first of all, he's giving you the natural feel. Everything don't gotta be super on beat. You know what I'm saying? So with RZA, he takes a lot of chances. You know what I'm saying? So when you listen to his style, as long as he's taking stuff from a lot of different places, i.e. It's the joint with him and Ghost, with Ray and Ghost, Criminology.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. You see, like he the way he's chopping points at,
right?
Like he's not always chopping samples on the 1, 2, 3, or the 4.
Right.
He may chop a sample in between. You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen to that sample, how it, the original sample, for the ding, 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 like it's different. He chopped it. He didn't just take it and just loop it. Right. And also where he chopped it in a whole different place where you probably wouldn't expect somebody would chop the sample at.
Right.
And then he goes to another song, for the hook part, he sampled something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. And a lot of the stuff that he was sampling, like with the bass lines from that album, bass lines of some other records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's taking small little bits and pieces, from other stands, like even with the drum pattern. You think about Cream. Let's just take Cream in particular. Cream. You take Old Dirty Bastards, Shimmy Ya, Shimmy Ya.
Right.
Right. I can't even remember. It was another song also on Built for Cuban Links, but that drum pattern that he used from the Emotions. You know what I'm saying? He's probably one of the only producers that I know that, and Pete Rock as well. Those probably the only two that I know that could just use the same drum pattern on different songs.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
Sound different.
Exactly. It's not like, oh shit, he used this from it, or he used that from that. You know what I'm saying? Like his Cream don't sound nothing like Shimmy Ya, Shimmy Ya.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't remember the name of that song, yo. But if you listen to it's a crazy album, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually compare those two songs when we get off of here, man, and listen to the drum patterns. That's dope, man. I never picked up on that.
He used it in Cream. He used it in Should Be Ya, Should Be Yay. He used it. Like I said, I can't remember that song. When we get off,
another one on Cuban Links.
Yeah, it was on Cuban Links.
Okay.
He used it on there too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was just Riz is a genius.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Well, thank you for providing both of those albums, Beat Grinders. If you guys haven't heard those albums, which I couldn't imagine, you guys definitely need to peep them. So go to the website
most definitely.
Under Chuck Lawayne's show notes, and I'll definitely provide links on there. Definitely got to peep both those albums. Classics, both of them.
Album. Yeah, featuring the bomb right there.
All right, man. Well, I want you to imagine that you're up on Mount Rushmore, man. We don't got no faces on Mount Rushmore right now. You got to carve four producers' faces in there. What 4 producers are going up on Mount Rushmore?
All right, I'll do it like this. I'm gonna go with obviously Pete Rock because I'm gonna go with Pete because for a whole lot of reasons, but mainly because he's just the man. You know what I'm saying? He really got me really. After I was, he does things for me, and I'm just like, wow. I don't really know how he actually did that. I had a blueprint for it, but I need to find out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's definitely up. He's on there at number 1.
Okay.
The second person I'll put up there is Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Nice. I'm putting Dr. Dre up there for those obvious reasons. My father, he was there early before I even knew I wanted to make beats. That's what was settled. That was the foundation.
Right.
His music, the stuff that he was involved with was the foundation for me. You know what I'm saying? Nice. To stand on, and actually start to get into producing. Not at Mount Rushmore. This is crazy. Number 3. That's gonna be a tough one right there. Number 3. Man, there's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there. It's hard to narrow them down.
There's a lot of guys, and I don't want to lead them down.
Right.
I'm throwing Riz up there.
Nice. Okay.
Riz is up there, no doubt. And the fourth one, I'm leaving the blank. I'm saving the space for myself.
Dope, man. Dope.
That's what I'm doing. I'm saving it for myself.
You're trying to get up there.
Exactly. So I'm gonna say that. So to do what I need to do, I'm gonna leave that one blank.
That's what's up, man. I love that answer, man. I love that answer.
No
got
doubt.
Got 3 producers up there that have made their mark in this music industry, that have set trends in this music industry. And then you're the last one, man. It gives you something to strive for, man. Gives you something to push for every day. So
exactly, man. And that's what it is. It's no knock or being cocky or anything like that.
You're not dialoguing.
Like I said, I used to play ball. Exactly. I used to just play ball, and people know, in any sport, you have to feel like that in order to even be successful.
Step on the court, right?
You might not even be the best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might not even be the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, my favorite player is John Starks. By far, talent-wise, he's definitely, for his era, he was the most talented. You know what I'm saying? He only made the All-Star team one time.
Right.
But if you go on Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? You go on Reggie Miller, you got all these people, you got to feel like you're the best. Right. You know what I'm saying? In order to even just compete. You know what I'm saying? So, that's all that is. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, man, for sure, man.
So,
yeah, back when I first started making beats, somebody told me that. They said, if you don't feel like you're the best at doing this shit, you don't even need to be in it. You don't even need to do it,
exactly.
So.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, like I said, it's not like...
It's not cockiness or anything, but music, just like sports, is competitive,
It's competitive, exactly.
That's hip-hop especially, so...
Especially, yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to be able to withstand. It's not like, okay, you just get in front of Kanye's face or Pete Rock's face or anybody, Premier, somebody like that, and you're like, no, I'm better than you, nigga, I'm better than you. Nothing like that.
Right.
It's when you're doing what you're doing. When I'm on the court, if I'm behind the boards, I have to feel like, yo, I'm the best that's doing this right now.
Right.
I'm at my best, and that's really what you're saying.
You're right. I'm at my best.
I'm being my best Chuck Lawayne. I'm being my best whoever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and also, like, for example, when Jay-Z was making Blueprint, there was a little rivalry between Kanye and Just Blaze. You know, one will bring a beat in, and the other one will be like, "Damn, I gotta top that shit."
Need that.
You know, like,
you need that. Yeah, See, a lot. That's good. That's a good competition. That's good friendly competition to have.
Competition, right?
You know. Okay, you definitely need that around, and that's what we have up here. Between me and a couple other guys, my man Jimmy Dice, Evan Brown, my man High Volume. When we come in, I hear some shit that he did. I'm like, oh man, all right. Evan played some, and Evan, I'm just, oh shit. Both of these dudes are topping everything that I was about to play. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.
I see y'all tomorrow. I ain't gonna play no beats. I see y'all tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Can't let that happen. So.
Yeah. Exactly. So
I feel that, man. All right, man. Yeah. Well, we're staying in this imaginative mode, man. I want you to imagine that you just woke up from the perfect dream, and in that perfect dream, man, you got the perfect studio session. Mm-hmm. And in that perfect studio session, you said in the perfect dream I was doing what? You had the perfect studio session. And in that perfect studio session, you have one artist, one producer, one engineer, and a random person. The producer is a co-producer with you. Who are those 4 people gonna be? Man, co-producer? You saying it's gotta be like somebody known? Nope. It could be. It's your dream session, man. So whoever. My dream session. Yep. Oh, my man Jimmy Dice. Okay. I need my man Jimmy Dice co-producing on the side of me. Okay. You said, who else did you say? You said artist. Yep. Artist. Ooh. Damn. Let me check. Fuck. Maybe Lloyd Banks again? It could be so many different. Man. Cause I got a lot of favorite rappers, man. But I want to make it seem, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could actually happen. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want to say Marvin Gaye or anything like that. Marvin Gaye is, deceased or anything. Right. Deceased right now. But I would probably say Raekwon. Okay. I want rapping. Yeah, I need Ray rapping. It would actually be Ray and Ghost. But if I can get Ray, that's cool. Damn. I rock Ray. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah, saying the engineer. Mm-hmm. See what I would have engineer. Young Guru. No, just for the simple fact that he was behind all of this, the early stuff that made me love hip hop. Right. You know what I'm saying? That made me want to get into it. And he made sure it sounded right. So, no doubt, man. Yeah. Okay. Right. Who's the random person? The random person? Mm-hmm. Random person in the room? My son. Dope. My son, yeah. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, cause he'd just be there and he won't even really realize the magnitude of who's there. Right. You know what I'm saying? And
make some mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But Chuck never double crossed me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If he did double cross me, if he did cross me, he made it right. You know what I'm saying? He went out his way to make it right. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of legacy I want to leave behind. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, man. That,
you know what I mean?
to me, that's going to get you further than anything else, you know. I mean, of course, you got to have good music, but, you know,
you gotta have good music,
if you're an asshole, nobody's going to want to work with you, you know. I mean,
somebody's going to want to work with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, they may work with you because of, you know, what you got going on, but they don't want to, you know. But if you're a good person, genuine person, man, people are going to want to be around you. So that's what's up, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, man, I want to know what's the greatest piece of advice that you've received coming up in this game, and what advice would you have for all the beat grinders today?
Greatest advice I've ever received. Damn, I gotta sit back and think. Who gave me the greatest advice? Greatest advice I ever received. Probably just from my barber.
What did he tell you?
You know what I'm saying? Now, my barber was just like, yo. He told me at the time. He said, yo, it's at the time I was getting ready to move. You know what I'm saying? I was in school. You know what I'm saying? I had some personal problems going on with the family, with my, you know, ex-wife at the time. All these different things, and things were just kind of closing in. And I was getting ready to come back to New York. But like I said, nothing that really happened up until that point. You know, I'm just like, yo. So he says, nah, man, you just keep doing what it is that you're doing. Trust me. Just keep doing what it is what you're doing. It's gonna open up. He said this like in 2011. You know what I'm saying?
Right, nice.
So I'm just like, you know what? You know, I just never forgot that. And that's what I've been, you know, just harping on, really. You know, I just always remember what he told me. Nice. Keep on doing what it is that you're doing. And, you know, but he was basically referring to, you know, my music career and what I was going through to do it, you know, going to the record store all the time, investing money, you know what I'm saying, going where you need to go to in order for your career to jump off. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of things. And now we get into the second part of your question, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the beat grinders. And I'm just speaking off the experience, yo. Like, I'm not even, this ain't even cliche. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of people, you know, I just want to do this. And it's really have been made easy to do it. To actually make beats is a very easy thing to do.
Right.
Nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Cause you don't even have to have a lot of money to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some of our favorite producers from
There's a $10 app, beat maker, on your phone.
You know what I'm saying? Download something, boom, you're making beats, you're a producer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In 30 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, some of our favorite producers, you know, you hear Rizzy talk about how you get his first beat machine. He robbed somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? You're talking about a disenfranchised group of people. You know what I'm saying? So you got people who actually, you know, I heard a story, DJ Scratch said when he was coming up DJing, you know, like your life was on the line when you was battling. So he was going to shows with, you know what I'm saying, with I forgot what model of gun he said, but he basically bringing guns to the to his battle. Damn. Just in case. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it took for you to be, not to say you gotta kill people to, you know, get your crap, but you know, to protect your craft, you wanna go here, you going to different places. Like it takes different things for you to be successful. Right. Now, God forbid, you know, I'm not telling you to go get a gun. You know what I'm saying? Right. Go to your gig with a gun and nothing like that. But you just see the lengths that guys went to make their career successful. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been, you gotta put your money behind this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put your time behind this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it shouldn't be, you know, well, damn, I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I gotta do it. Nah, because it's something that you want. You know what I'm saying? It may hurt on the back end part of it. Like, okay, you might miss going to the game. You know what I'm saying? You might miss having the social life. You know what I'm saying? But shit, I look at it like, that's part of my social life. Making peace. Right, yeah. That's part of my social life. When I'm not at work, that's what I'm doing. I'm socially going out. You know what I mean? That's part of making peace to me. But most importantly, just to get back to the seriousness of it, you know, if it's something that you really want to do, it's gonna have to just be more than just getting behind the computer and sending stuff out. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Part of it is sending it out. if you live in Portland, you might have to take a trip to New York or Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You might have to move somewhere. You know, I use certain things as tools. You know, like when I went away to college,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I knew I was going to college, but in the back of my mind, especially when I started making beats, you know, my college decision was behind, I made that behind, you know, the premise of what I can actually do musically. You know, I'm like, man, okay, if I go to Tennessee somewhere, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no real rap, you know, well, at least not the style of music that I've been. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not really down there like that. Or I don't want to go to, you know, but I'll go here because I probably needed something popping off over here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so that, you know, it's a lot of different things, man. But you just got to be able to put the foot, you got to be able to put in the footwork. You got to walk some dogs sometimes, you know what I'm saying, to make this, to make your career happen. That's some of the advice I would give to other people, you know what I mean? That's really trying to be producers, successful producers like that.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, you gave a lot in that answer right there, man. That's a lot for us to take in, and it was all great advice, man. So we'll definitely take all of that, man. And
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, just want to say thank you, man. You know, we made it to the end of the interview, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. It was a pleasure, man.
I had fun.
Yeah, same here, and learned a lot as well, man, from you, man, from your experiences and all the advice that you gave, man. Just want,
word.
If you have any more words for the listeners, if you want to let them know what they should be looking out for with you, what they should be listening to that you've come out with, and how to contact you if you want to be contacted, man, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I'm on Instagram, Chuck Lawayne _135. Twitter, the same thing, Chuck Lawayne _135.
Okay.
I told you Fly Presidential is already out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that's Fly Presidential, Jay Prezi, Fly Boy. I'm saying they got the double, not the double album. I wish it was a double album, but nah, they did the joint album together, and that's out everywhere.
Okay.
Jay Prezi put a couple songs out. We did a song with a video called Major League. That's out on YouTube right now. Jay Prezi. What else is going on? I just been, you know, sending a lot of beats out to a lot of different people.
Okay.
But Jay Prezi, look out for my man Jay Prezi. You know what I'm saying? We've been working closely over the past year on a lot of different things. So we got a project. We haven't put a release date on it yet. But album by the name of John. Call it John.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's gonna be coming out definitely this year though.
Nice.
Definitely this year. Yeah, man.
Okay.
That's
we'll
what I'm at with it right now.
Definitely be on the lookout for that and everything else that you do.
Don't get this shit up.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be on the lookout for that, man, and everything else that you do, man. So just yeah, thank you, man. All right.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Okay. Well, Beat Grinders, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Beats Grinding Life. If you guys like the show, if you guys got any value out of the show, please share this show on Instagram, on all social media platforms as well, Twitter, Facebook, and just spread the word. Let everybody know how much you appreciated this show, and let everybody know how much you appreciated Chuck Lawayne for coming up on here. Tag him and let him know as well. Be sure to rate and review this podcast, and just go ahead and give us 5 stars. Yeah, man, you guys know how it goes. You guys have been mentored today by Chuck Lawayne. So you guys keep making beats, stay on your grind, live life, and peace.
Word. Stay up, Beat Grinders. Thanks for listening.
Here at Beats Grinding Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinglife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.